Hi guys, Jess here. Today we're doing vintage bridal, so I thought I would do a quick demonstration of the elements that are involved in the vintage bride, and we'll talk a little bit about other bridal designs. So as you can see, I have done a base, and this base is the same cream foundation, the Danessa Myricks Vision Cream. I'll just hold that up for you. And then I have powdered that with the MAC Pro translucent powder, this one. And then I have started to contour with a matte contour palette, which is today the matte palette. And I've also used that to fill in my eyebrows. And I've also used the Crayolan highlight palette for blush. And I have used a red pencil from Crayolan and a red flash palette color for my lips, so this color here. So all that we're doing today is we're putting it together for something that's vintage. So I need to add eyelashes on this side and some more shading under the eye. But all in all, it's a nice simple way to sort of create a bridal look. So what I start with is getting the base down and then concealing the eye, which I have done. I have set that also with the translucent powder. And then I come in, and because I know now about eye shapes, I can start to create a soft crease line blend. So I'm just looking to really deepen my crease line, not to make it look as strong as the lash line, because of the lash area is quite dark in the vintage look, but I want to make it a soft translucent sort of finish. So without further ado, I get a soft brush and I get a fluffy brush, and together I work them in. And I'm actually going to use a dark brown eyeshadow on this section here. And when it comes out, it's quite strong. So don't worry, that's what we blend for. So I have my white base down with the translucent, and that's blended out. So there's something on there already for me to attach it to. And I just quickly find, by keeping my eyes open and using the point of the brush, and I create a line just above where my crease line is. So you can connect that down and shade across as you would for something more classic or eye shape correction, but for a vintage, it's a little bit on the 50s side, retro side, so you're really sort of creating that strong crease area. It's not really meant to be connected. So later on, when we get into the ears, you'll see the fashions that was the trend then. Then I get my fluffy brush. Any fluffy brush will do. Remember, smaller brushes are better. And I just do little circles across the blend. Some people use a pencil here, but for me, I just like to use a dark shadow. But if you use anything more than the pointed end, you'll find it becomes more of a smoky eye. So just really blend that out. And I'm pretty happy with that. And then you can come in, and with another soft color, you can intensify this lightness here. So I might add, just because it's bridal, I might add something more than a matte color. So I'm going to add this little shimmer here, which has had a lot of use. So it's just like a pearl opal sort of shade. And then I intensify this across here, which is your mobile lid. And that just makes everything a little bit prettier. It still has a matte sort of finish, but so once you create the line, what I did was I started here and I took it to the edge and connected it. So once you've connected the edges, you take it back into the center and you bring it across. It wasn't recording when I pressed it, sorry. So once we have that connected, we can start to add our eyebrow. So I always believe in a beautiful angle brush for the eyebrow. Okay, my phone keeps ringing while I'm trying to do this. Okay, so now I've got the eyeliner on, and just so you know, I was using the Ben & I cake liner. I used the fine line brush, I added water, and I took it above my lash end so it gave a nice tailed end. So once that's on, you can then do the brow. So I get my angle brush, which I prefer. I get a darker shade because it's stronger on the brow for a vintage bride. and just take a little bit of excess off, and I just travel that through the front of the brow. But it's a little bit more dramatic, so strong brow today. Make them sharp. I don't like to go too heavy on the bottom, so there's some natural hairs coming through. And if I need to match the depth on the other brow, I take it across. Nice and easy. Helps when your eyebrows are already shaped, of course. So when doing bridal, you encourage your bride to have her brows ready to go. Otherwise, you have to groom them. So once that's in place, we will go into our contour. So for contour, I still recommend not the biggest brush. I've said this a few times. I'm just using something like this for this area. Funnily enough, I don't have any on. It looks like I do. I don't have any on this side. So I'm actually going to use the matte shadows, and I'm going to intensify it. You can use anything that's warmer. It doesn't have to be as warm as this, but as long as it gives you that chiseled sort of bone structure. So this is why I like these sort of medium-sized fluffy brushes. There we go. So for me, middle of the ear, travel down. You don't go past the end of the brow. Nice and easy. And then we can put blush on. So I just find my other fluffy brush, which I'm looking for. There it is. So this one is a bit bigger, this sort of shape. And I go over to my highlight palette and I get the pink shade. And then we have a beautiful rose cheek. Very nice. Very nice. And now I want to come in under here and concentrate that area. So I will go into my little brown brush that I used for shading here, and I will add some more depth of color underneath. You can put a bit of pencil down, but this needs to be stronger but not overpowering. And you can blend it out. And then you can get that white pencil to intensify the waterline. Sharpen if you're using it on a client and yourself beforehand. And that just brings the eye out a little bit. And if you need to, soften. And this is pretty much your vintage sort of style. Quite classic. The lips I had pre-done. So with the lips, I have drawn the outside shape starting with the Cupid's bow. My lips are uneven, so I've had to balance as best I can. So do your best to make them as even as possible using a pencil and then coming in with your lipstick. So what I'd like to do probably now is come in and highlight a little bit here, a little bit here, and add lashes. But yeah, Vintage Bride is nice and easy. It's about recreating that liner and those areas of the eye shaded so that they come forward and pronounce, and it's quite a glamorous classic look. Okay, lashes. There we have it, lashes on, ready to go for our vintage wedding. I just need to get my veil and a beautiful dress. And I hope you guys enjoy doing your vintage bridal makeup. Have fun with the soft shading, the beautiful lip, and the strength in the eyeliner. Have fun.